What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Right away, off the top, let me get into thanking the subscribers that donated money last night and last night's live through Super Chats or Cash App. Henny, your mom sniffs, I can't say the whole thing. On the Gunline Podcast, Donnie Bird, Lucas Jackson, Ezekiel Rivera, Colin C., Dylan Johnson, Mark Tubalino, and G. Medina. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys. Now, the DMs were on fire this morning. Where do we start, man? Where do we start? Shout out to Cholo Juan. Apparently, Cholo Juan was on a live last night. And so I got a bunch of DMs this morning, and people were actually like, hey, you know what? Cholo Juan is smarter than a lot of these other YouTubers. He's figured out the game, right? And they were like, but that dude, and I'm not going to say names, my name was omitted, thankfully, out of, when Cholo Juan was naming, the YouTube mesa. I'm not on no mesa ever. Not on no YouTube yarda. There's no such thing. But it's funny, what people say that. But yeah, people were not feeling the individual that was interviewing Cholo Juan. And I'm not going to say that individual's name. We had an understanding that we wouldn't talk about each other, but when rocks are being thrown, I guess I can respond the same way, subliminally, I guess. We're just going to play dumb with each other and with everybody. So everybody knows I don't do YouTube beef. Let's just flow with it. Cholo Juan has been on YouTube for years. And when it came to Cholo Juan and these other podcasts that now want to interview him and have him on, where was that before? Yeah, those are crickets. My bad. But now that his name is popping, now that you say him and Lefty Gunplay, his name will get you views. Cholo Juan, his name will get you views. And mentioning me and Gunner will get you views. So thirsty channels will go there. And a lot of times they think, let's go negative. Let's create controversy rather than let's create good content. And so the success that they could get is fleeting. It's momentarily. It's still not building a channel or a brand that people want to return to. I find it very strange that someone, and it's not just this person. It seems like dudes that never went to prison, but they lived that life. It has created an inferiority complex that is visible, that is obvious. Imagine being 50 or nearly 50 years old and talking about living by a gang code and a prison code when you've never been to prison. See, I can respect when someone has been to prison, has been through the fires, has performed under the gun, has had to do the things physically and mentally that are necessary to survive and be successful in that world. Those that have never done that and speak on those who have, it's comical. There's a lot of us, we sit back and we did live that life. And we can see right through who would have made it and who wouldn't. But it's irrelevant because we're out here. So I tip my hat to Cholo Juan. Cholo Juan, I've said it before, dipped into the negative a year ago. and then figured it out, man. He's figured out what's more important. You know, it tripped me out to hear somebody saying last night that people are double dipping when they basically fucked over their vodka. No, when you got it mixed up, most of those dudes, something happened in the joint, and a lot of times it was just politics. They didn't rat on nobody. They didn't punk out, and their neighborhood doesn't hate them. Every neighborhood has to deal with that stuff. And the person mentioning it has talked about dealing with those homeboys of his. So it's just so weird, man. But I want to just talk about how Cholo Juan has the momentum right now. Every YouTuber gets the momentum. At something, well, I can't say that. Every YouTuber that gets the momentum, it doesn't stay. You can have it for a few months, maybe even a year, but then that new flavor of the month, that new flavor of the year kicks in. Someone else starts a channel. And so when you have that momentum, that's when you're building your brand. That's when you're forming your foundation. If you build your home on a weak foundation, the first rain will wash it away. So, Cholo Juan, you got a lot of momentum right now. Build that foundation. Like I said, the DMs were overwhelmingly favorable for Cholo Juan and the way he's thinking. He's like, he loves his freedom. He understands what YouTube is, what social media is. He says he's going to do another video and talk about the YouTube yarda. I personally, because I've been on yardas, I don't refer to it as that. I try to, I've always said I'm not a prison channel. And I know, a lot of people have always been like, what do you mean? That's all you talk about. And I always say it's because from the age of 13 to 43, I probably had 18 months on the streets. Didn't even have 2 years on the streets. So I speak of my life experiences. I do know that it's pretty damn funny to me how people are gravitating towards Cholo Juan, and I'm sure he's smart enough. He's exhibiting that he's smart enough to take advantage of every opportunity that's coming his way. But I'm sure he remembers those opportunities weren't there. And he's going to, again, take advantage, and he's going to blow up, and he's going to hopefully create that foundation. As for myself, like I said, I don't delve into these fake beefs. I don't delve into it's not good for the brand. I choose to just put out what feels right to me. Contrary to the way the picture was painted, I don't mention organizations. I don't even like to mention disruptive groups. I only mention those very rarely if it's necessary in order to correct something. I still, and this may offend people, but I still respect the sacrifices that are necessary behind those walls to live that life. I understand people are doing what they got to do to survive. I will say there's very few that are doing it right. And people are going to say, what do you mean by right? You cannot apply societal views and values to the prison existence. I've said before, when you're in prison, when you're incarcerated, you're not living. You're just existing. You're existing in a cold, brutal, ugly, very violent place. I have never once glorified that lifestyle. This is another reason why when people talk about wins and losses in prison, that would be glorifying. I talk about the actual reality of prison. I give people a glimpse so they see they don't want to be in that lifestyle. There's a lane for everybody. I think Cholo Juan is going to be the southern version of Gunner. He's very humorous. I honestly feel if Cholo Juan plays, if he plays this right, I think he could be the first YouTuber of the so-called prison genre. Because I don't consider him prison genre either. But I think he could be the first one in the prison genre to actually get into movies or TV. I do. A big part of it is because when you look at when he grew his hair and he had it blonde, when you look at he's very self-deprecating. He can make fun of himself and not fake laugh it. He enjoys it. He's chasing that bag with a passion. He was facing a life sentence. He went and did this county jail time, and I think when he saw other people around him facing life sentences at the age they are right now, there's no coming back from that. And I think it refocused him. And where's it at? Hopefully it's not breaking up. Hopefully that wasn't breaking up and you could hear it. I applaud that. I applaud anyone who was a former felon, who used to be in the streets, stabbing, shooting, robbing, killing, hurting people, affecting the community in a negative way, that are now getting money legitimately. Anyone spewing hate, anyone trying to live by a lifestyle that they have second, third, and 10th hand information of, I don't respect that. I really don't. But as I said here today, and as I've said many, many, many times, there's a lane for everybody. I don't hate on anybody. If they're getting views, there are people that enjoy it. And when Cholo Juan said last night that going the negative route will negatively affect the channel, great perception, great understanding, and a great sign for your future on YouTube and in social media. I'm interested to see where it goes. But I do believe he's got the opportunity now to be successful. And for those that were bent out of shape about last night's interview, it was very weird. Even the title was so strange, right? It was just like, wow, like, why? But just take it for what it was, right? It was a shot that missed, and Cholo Juan turned it into a great opportunity for himself. And the proof is in the pudding. Like I said, all the messages I got, Cholo Juan did right. Stick to it. Stick to that. Stick to the being respectful and humble. It'll go a long ways. I don't want to keep talking in circles. It's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out of here.